There's something truly special about isekai anime. After all, I'm making 2 videos in a row about isekai anime and, well, I am isekai trash. Either way, there's no denying that this season has been pretty fantastic for isekai anime, having both Slime and Shield Hero coming out. 2 excellent shows, which, may I say, is very rare for isekai. Like, very rare. So, since last week I covered Shield Hero, this week I knew I had to talk about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Yes, the name still triggers me. For those of you who haven't kept up, the show follows Rimuru Tempest as he dies in real life and gets teleported to another world as a slime. And instead of going on a crazy adventure or trying to become the new king of the world, he simply just finds the first village of goblins he bumps into, then turns it into an entire freaking city. Which, in my opinion, is pretty different. When trying to describe this show to friends, I definitely struggle because it's a lot like its predecessors, but it mixes and matches a lot of the different ideas. The best way I can think of describing it is a mix of Log Horizon and How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, pulling the incredibly well-built society from Log Horizon while pulling some of the comedy elements along with the constant threats to the city from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. So today, I kinda wanted to focus on this and see how the mixing of styles makes Slime one of the most fun watches of the year. So first, let's talk about the classic overpowered protagonist. Rimuru literally swallows an entire dragon at the beginning of the anime and becomes one of the strongest characters in the known universe, but decidedly so not the absolute strongest. There are a few characters who are introduced to being on his level, and even those who greatly exceed his strength. These characters are also often the ones who want him dead or to fight him, and well, that's not exactly great for our slimy friend. Secondly is his end goal. Rimuru wants to create a society filled with peace, hence his creation of the City of Monsters, and it's his otherworldly intelligence that allows him to do so, knowing that the best way to create peace is by uniting all of the monsters and making allies with just about every kingdom within his reach. But the problem is, of course, that other characters are often out to challenge Rimuru, and people on his power level very rarely care about the consequences of their fights. In comes characters like Milliam. She comes to Rimuru's city and is looking to fight for the fun of it. Not only does Rimuru know he's going to lose that fight, but that most of the city would be destroyed in that fight. So how does Rimuru solve this problem? Well, he tricks her into tasting honey and, well, they become best friends forever. The interesting thing here is that the conflict often comes from Rimuru being so powerful rather than the city itself. But what's often at stake in these battles is the city itself, and sometimes it's lost and they have to start from scratch. What makes this city even more impressive is the elements drawn from Log Horizon. The city isn't just built up randomly. A large portion of the anime focuses on the politics of the creation of the city. They bring in dwarves to train the goblins on how to build roads and houses. The orcs move in to help with heavy labor. The lizard people help with herbs. The oni act as this defensive force for the city. Hell, they even have a human doing research. Each layer is slowly built and cleverly introduced. The alliance with the nation of dwarves leads them to having the human researcher, and the war with the demon lord was their way of introducing orcs and lizard people into their nation. Hell, they're even planning on building a road to a human neighboring country so they can start to sell goods and actually start making money. Enter shameless joke about Patreon plug. This is all clever, fun, but at times a bit boring. I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss off a lot of people. This is kind of why I found Log Horizon boring at some points. The society buildup is fun, but sometimes it feels like I'm merely watching a documentary. So to spice things up, Slime introduces a lot more action. Like I said, they had to win a war with the Orc Lord. It's a fun arc filled with a lot of action and leads directly into the arc where they incorporate the orcs and lizard people into the city. Hell, even the very first arc of the show is about this. The direwolves come and attack the goblins, so Rimuru defends the goblins, but after winning, forces the goblins and direwolves to live side by side, setting this theme of unity for the show. The arc that follows it is one where they try to make improvements to the city. That's basically the formula Slime uses to keep people interested in the show. One arc where the city is built up, and one arc where the city is at stake and Rimuru must defend it somehow. It's a simplistic but clever pattern that not only makes us enjoy the development of the city, but care for its survival each time it's at risk. It's a constant feedback loop that keeps us invested in the show and the world building, but of course, keeps us from getting bored. Thank you guys so much for watching. A huge thank you to all my patrons. You guys are my heroes. Speaking of which, if you're interested in seeing how I edit, joining our exclusive Discord, or simply supporting the channel, please feel free to join my Patreon. Make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Manime Matt. Make sure you guys say man and go watch that goddamn anime.